One major struggle for a lot of aspiring content creators is always having to find new content ideas. I know that I've personally struggled with this in being a content creator over the last 10 years, and it can be really frustrating. However, in today's video, I wanted to walk through some of the different ways that you may not have thought of to find new content ideas. We'll be thinking a little bit more outside of the box and going into detail about how you can stay inspired to keep creating content. But for those of you who are new to this channel, hi, my name is Kaylee, and I'm a beauty and fashion photographer based near Sydney, Australia. But I'm also a content creator, and I started this channel a few years ago to talk about all things business, social media, freelancing, and content creation. And as I mentioned in today's video, we'll be going through various ways you can find new content ideas in 2025, and I hope you enjoy the video. So as I mentioned, trying to always find content ideas as a content creator can be a really frustrating process, and it sometimes can suck the creativity out of what you're trying to do and that inspiration factor. And I think that everyone needs to be able to get into their little creative mindset where they feel they can get inspired again to create more content and to really get those ideas flowing. So hopefully by talking about some of the ways that you can find new content ideas in this video, you'll hopefully be able to keep some of these methods in mind for later. But before we go any further with the video today, a quick word from this video's sponsor, PicsArt. PicsArt is an all-in-one creative platform with a wide selection of free AI design tools. And you can pretty much design anything in PicsArt. When you are developing new content ideas, it's important to have a way to note them down or to keep them for later. And I personally love taking advantage of their planner templates specifically for content calendars and idea lists. With PicsArt, you can easily compile your content ideas in seconds, then simply transfer them to a content calendar when you're ready to start creating. Not to mention that you also have the option to add some cute premium stickers to make it as visual as possible. Then when it comes time to actually making your content, you can utilize features like the batch editor. With this feature, you can edit up to 50 images at once. So imagine with this feature trying to plan your content for Instagram in particular and being able to have all of your photo content batch edited in one place. Just simply drag and drop your images and create a bunch of content that will last a long time. Whether you're compiling idea lists, creating vision boards, or simply planning for the new year ahead, PicsArt have countless templates and design features that make this an easy process. If you'd like to try PicsArt for free, make sure to click the link in the description box below and check it out for yourself. Thanks again to PicsArt for sponsoring this video. So now jumping into some of the ways that you can find new content ideas in 2025, and the first way is to utilize Reddit. So as a lot of us already know, Reddit describes himself as the homepage or front page of the internet, and there are so many different conversations and trends you can be hopping on with your content that can actually originate from Reddit. So whether you are doing reactionary content, whether you are doing research, whether you're trying to find out more information about niche content, or maybe even community conversations about certain topics, Reddit is a really good place to start with this. It's also a really good place to go to really find questions that need answers. I think if you're doing any educational content, there's a lot of questions that are constantly asked on Reddit in so many different niches and categories and topics, and I think it's a really good way to maybe try and answer some questions that haven't already been answered, maybe with YouTube content or Instagram or TikTok content. It is a really good way to find that out, and to also, like I said, look at community engagement and what people are talking about, what people are saying about certain topics as well. It'd be very interesting to jump on certain trends that are happening at any given time, and utilizing Reddit in this way is a really good idea. Now, the next way I'm going to mention today is Pinterest. Now, I love Pinterest for forming new content ideas. Of course, Pinterest can be like an online vision board, and you can really easily build mood boards for content through Pinterest. So it is one of the first ways that I will often go to find new content ideas for social media. It can be very difficult with Pinterest to find what is currently trending because so much of the content on the platform can be from like 10 years ago, and you wouldn't even know because a lot of it's not dated or it's not sort of put out in a way that is kind of like in a time of posting order. So that is one thing that it can be a little bit tricky with Pinterest, trying to find trends necessarily. I think you have to already sort of know about certain trends and then kind of go off that and with your searching on Pinterest, because that can be difficult. But one thing I love about Pinterest is that it is so visual. So especially if you're a creative like me and you do photography or you do video and you're looking for some kind of inspiration in that arena for your content and aesthetics in particular, Pinterest can be really good for this because it is so visual. So finding videos and photos that really resonate with you or that you like the look of, I think can be a really great way to not only develop like your own branding as a content creator, but also develop the look of the content that you have and really find that guidance that you might need in those areas too. But obviously for new content ideas, there are so many ways on Pinterest that you can find this. Also finding related searches on Pinterest are a great way to kind of try and form form new ideas, especially if you want to build upon ideas that you might already have. So utilizing the suggested topics feature is also a really good way to do that. Now, the next place is going to be a really obvious one, but it is one that I think is really important, and it's TikTok. Now, TikTok is a great place to go to find new content ideas, because realistically these days, this is where so many of the social media trends start. I don't know if you've ever noticed before, but if you have both an Instagram and a TikTok account, a lot of the trends start on TikTok, and then several weeks later they kind of find their way to Instagram, and they'll be like, you know, up to about a month delayed a lot of the time with the trends. So that is changing slowly, but I still do feel that TikTok is where a lot of this originates from. So I think that one of your first places that you should be going to is TikTok for content ideas. Following similar people in your niche is always a really good way to start, and seeing what they're posting, seeing what works, and obviously using the search function and looking at trending hashtags and keywords. That's a really good place to start on TikTok as well. Now, along with this, another great place to go and find new content ideas is by going to Instagram Explore and actually searching different topics or hashtags through there, finding what is trending. That's a really good way to start as well. Obviously, like I said, TikTok is a great place for this because that's where a lot of trends actually start. But I do find that Instagram is still a very good place to go to for finding new trends, and especially aesthetic trends. I feel like that's more of a thing on Instagram. So really looking into the Explore page and seeing what's popular, what's doing well, again, can help to really form some new ideas. Now, along with these two social media sites, the next place I want to recommend is YouTube for finding new content ideas. And a great way to do this is by going into the inspiration tab in the YouTube analytics and actually just going through and typing in some different keywords and topics and finding out maybe again what questions need to be answered with certain types of content, but also finding what's trending. And the great thing about YouTube inspiration now is they have a bit of an AI function where it kind of generates different video outlines for you. And I have actually used this function a few times on YouTube. I think that it's heading in a good direction here for people that are really stuck on ideas that they can't think of anything, like their mind is blank, which quite often, let me be real, is my head. Like, I feel like I have to think of so much content in a year. Sometimes using this function is a really great way to just take a break from always having to form ideas from scratch. This can really help to give you ideas to build upon, or maybe trigger some topics that you might not have thought of just yet. But it's a really great way to see what's trending on YouTube in particular and find out some potential new content ideas. Now, the next place to find new content ideas is actually one place that was recommended by one of my friends, and I think it's a really, really great recommendation, and that's Google Trends. So Google Trends actually really gives you the ability to analyze different keywords and see how popular they've been over time, which I think is a really great feature. But it can also give you suggested content and ideas, and again, questions that haven't been answered, which I think is a really important thing to remember in this video. Google Trends can really be that go-to place for you to go and form new ideas pretty much from scratch. Obviously, Google is one of the biggest websites in the world, if not the biggest. I'm not entirely sure on that, but it could very well be the biggest. And of course, the biggest search engine. I think it just ranks above YouTube potentially in this, or YouTube could rank above it. Look, to be fair, I can't actually remember, but Google again is king. So realistically, looking into trends and searching through there is really going to give you really good data on what kind of content is really popular at the moment and what ideas you could potentially form for your own content. And whether that's potentially content like I mentioned with Reddit, where it's more of a community conversation about certain current topics that people are really having big conversations about, or potentially, again, questions that haven't been answered. There's so many ways that you can start finding new ideas through Google Trends. Now, the next way you can find new content ideas is by simply asking your audience. So if you have a little bit of an audience already and you are really stuck for content ideas, a really great simple way to do this is to ask your audience what they want to see. The amount of ideas that have come to me from literally just asking people at the end of my videos, let me know what you want to see on my channel, and people will comment regularly about what they want to see. So I think it's really important to always take your audience's opinions into consideration too, and what they want to see, because at the end of the day, they will likely be the ones watching your videos. So it's important to get some statistics and information on what they want to watch as well. The next way is by looking at your competitors. Now, this can go for any social media platform, looking at people within your niche or similar niches that are producing content similar to your own, really looking at what they're doing and what is working for them. Now, this is not to say that you should go and rip off the content that they're creating. You should not do that. You should not do that word for word or image for image or video for video. That is not what I'm saying. I think it's really good for sparking some inspiration for your own content, and potentially you could take a topic that they have done and do it differently in your own way. So I think that that is really important, to always be analyzing what your competitors are doing as well and seeing what really works. And then you can also use a content ID generator or AI generator. Now, there are a number of these online that you can easily find through a Google search, and I think they're a great way to start. Again, if you have a really big mind blank and you don't know where to start with your next pieces of content, I think this is a really great way to start generating some new ideas that you don't necessarily have to think too hard about, because it can be hard week to week trying to find new content. So having that little bit of assistance with a content idea generator online is a really great stepping stone to building upon those potential ideas. And now for a final tip about content ideas and actually putting them into action. Remember to reuse and expand on content across platforms. So if you are finding it really hard to think of new content ideas, make sure that you're at least taking a topic for, say, one social media site, and if you have several social media sites, try and adapt that for each social platform and build upon it, expand upon it. There are so many ways that you can do this, and I think that it's really important that you do. This will really ensure that you run out of content ideas a lot less, and you can really keep that conversation going about certain topics, and it doesn't have to end after just one video or one Instagram post, for example. As I mentioned, reusing the content from time to time is also very important, so you're not constantly having to think of ideas every single day, especially for short form platforms like Instagram and TikTok, where a lot of your content kind of gets wiped off there within weeks. A lot of people are not seeing those videos. So it's important to make sure that you're also reusing the content every so often, because your new audience members may not have even seen that content. So it's a good idea to do that as well. Well, I hope you really enjoyed this video today, and I hope you learned something new from it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, make sure you do, because I'll be posting a lot more videos like this one in future. Let me know down in the comment section below how you like to form new content ideas, and maybe some of the places that you go to for new content ideas, because I think it's great to have other people's insight into this, and it's a really good way to help each other out if we're really struggling for content ideas. Having your thoughts and opinions on this topic would be super helpful as well, so make sure to leave your comment down below. Another quick reminder, if you want to go and check out PixArt for free, make sure to click the link in the description box below to go and check it out for yourself. And in the meantime, make sure to hit the notification bell to see all the updates from my channel in future. But thank you so much as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.